What if I told you that everything you've been told about budget computing is a calculated lie? For 30 years, the tech world has been a divided house. On one side, the elite, those who pay $1,000 or more for machines that work flawlessly, machines that feel like an extension of your own mind. They get the razor-sharp screens, the silent cooling, and the power that turns heavy work into play. But on the other side, a dark, toxic wasteland. If you had $300, you weren't buying a computer. You were buying a headache. You were being sentenced to a digital purgatory. Think about it. That $300 laptop you bought 3 years ago, it was a disaster. It was a creaky, plastic shell that flexed under your palms. The screen was a muddy mess that burned your eyes after 20 minutes. And the processor? It was a slug. It was designed to fail. It was designed to make you feel like you weren't tech-savvy enough, when in reality, you were just being sold e-waste. It was a system designed to keep you in the poor tier of the digital economy. But as you watch this, the ground beneath the global tech industry is shaking. Apple has done the unthinkable. They didn't just release a cheaper computer. They built a Trojan horse designed to infiltrate every home, classroom, and office on the planet. They call it the Mac Neo, and it is officially the death of the low-end PC. The Mac Neo is a palm-sized marvel, and it is currently shattering sales records in a way we haven't seen since the 2007 iPhone launch. In cities from New York to London, people are lining up in the freezing cold. Why? Because for the first time, Apple has done the impossible. They've provided diamond-grade, premium quality at a price point that feels almost illegal. This isn't just a gadget. It's a message to the executives at Dell, HP, and Lenovo. The era of the plastic, disposable PC is over. Apple realized something those companies are too arrogant to see. People don't care about professional branding. They don't care about complex specs that nobody understands. They care about 3 simple things. Is it lightning fast? Does it look beautiful on my desk? And does it have that iconic Apple logo? Apple doesn't need to sell you a high-margin MacBook Pro to win this war. They just need to get you through the front door. The Mac Neo is the key that unlocks that door. Once you have this machine on your desk, you are inside the golden cage. You'll use iCloud, you'll sync your iPhone, you'll subscribe to their services, and you will never, ever go back to the clunky, ad-filled, update-heavy nightmare of a cheap Windows machine. This is the ultimate halo effect on steroids. By selling you the box at a razor-thin margin, they are winning a multi-generational chess game. If a student learns to edit video or code on a Mac in middle school, they are an Apple customer for life. The competition doesn't just look slow, they look obsolete. But how are they doing it? How can Apple manufacture a premium machine for $299 without losing their shirts? The answer is ruthless, cold-blooded efficiency. They stripped away the junk that makes laptops expensive. No massive batteries, no fragile, high-res liquid retina displays, no complex, expensive trackpads, no backlit keyboards. They've distilled the computer down to its rawest, most powerful essence, the silicon. They are taking the A19 Pro, a chip destined for the next flagship iPhone, and putting it into a fanless, stationary box. Because it's plugged into the wall, they can push that chip to its absolute, screaming limit. This is a hardware cheat code. It stays perfectly silent because it has no fan, yet it handles 4K video editing, complex multitasking, and the new era of Apple Intelligence without breaking a sweat. It is a nightmare for companies like Asus and Acer. While they are struggling with supply chains and component costs, Apple is leveraging their massive vertical integration to redefine what value means. This is not just a disruption. It is a total, brutal massacre of the status quo. And if the Mac Neo is the Trojan horse, then the M5 Mac Mini is the heavy artillery, and the upcoming reveal at WWDC is going to be the turning point that leaves the rest of the industry scrambling for cover. For years, the Mac Mini was the quiet cousin of the Apple family. It was reliable, it was functional, and it was a bit boring. But what's coming this June is anything but boring. The rumors from the deep global supply chain are not just whispers. They are a clear signal of a massive shift in power. We are looking at a next-generation silicon architecture that makes the already fast M4 chip look like a relic from the past. A CPU that is 22% faster and a graphics engine that is a staggering 45% more powerful, all packed into a footprint that hasn't changed, a device the size of a sandwich. But here is the irony. This massive leap in raw power creates a financial vacuum, with the M5 Mac Mini rumored to push toward a $699 price point to account for its sheer performance and AI capabilities. Apple is intentionally leaving the floor open for the Mac Neo to dominate. It's a masterclass in market segmentation. They aren't going to let Dell, HP, or Lenovo breathe. While those companies are fighting over crumbs in the budget segment, struggling with rising component costs, messy third-party supply chains, and the slow death of the cheap PC, Apple is playing a different game. They are leveraging their vertical integration. Because Apple controls the silicon, the OS, and the hardware, they don't have to pay a tax to third-party manufacturers. This is the secret to how they offer premium performance for such a low price. They aren't using a mobile chip because it's cheap. They're using it because it's a hardware cheat code. By taking the A19 Pro, the exact same 3nm monster chip that powers the top-tier iPhone, and placing it in a desktop chassis, they are essentially unlocking God mode. Because the Mac Neo doesn't rely on a battery, the thermal envelope is expanded. It can run faster, hotter, and more aggressively, all while remaining perfectly, beautifully silent. And let's talk about that 8 GB RAM argument. I know what you're thinking. Every tech forum on the planet is currently shouting that 8 GB isn't enough. On a Windows PC? They're right. Windows is a resource hog that eats RAM for breakfast. But on a Mac? It's a different universe. Apple's memory management is nothing short of sorcery. Through advanced memory compression and a unified memory architecture that treats the CPU and GPU as one cohesive team, they can squeeze more performance out of 8 GB than most PCs get from 16 GB. When you hit the limit, the system doesn't stutter. It uses the ultra-fast NVMe SSD swap, and because it's so tightly integrated, you often can't even tell the difference. This is where the environmental shift comes in, too. Think about the thousands of cheap, plasticky laptops that fill up landfills every single year. They are designed to fail. Fragile hinges, cheap thermal paste that turns to dust, fans that clog after 6 months. The Mac Neo, by contrast, is built to last. It is a solid aluminum unibody that will outlive 5 of those budget Windows machines combined. Apple isn't just selling you a computer. They are selling you an end to the replacement cycle that has been draining your wallet for decades. But realize this, the catch is real. They aren't doing this out of the goodness of their hearts. The Mac Neo is the ultimate gateway drug. Once that sleek, vibrant piece of tech is on your desk, you're in. You'll want the matching iPhone, the Apple Watch, the AirPods. You'll be paying for iCloud storage, Apple Music, and the convenience of an ecosystem that just works. They don't need a huge margin on the box. They need you in the ecosystem for the next 10 years. They are playing a multi-generational chess game, and right now, they are checking the competition into a corner they cannot escape. If the Mac Neo is a wrecking ball for the home office, it is an absolute tsunami for the classroom. For over a decade, Google's Chromebooks have sat comfortably on the throne of the global education market, holding a staggering 60% of the K-12 sector. They became this standard not because they were great, but because they were good enough for underfunded school districts. They were cheap, they were replaceable, and they were everywhere. But let's be brutally honest, they are essentially landfill-bound e-waste. Ask any teacher or student who has used a school-issued Chromebook for a year. The hinges creak, the plastic turns a sickly yellow, the battery life hits a wall, and the operating system starts to drag like it's pulling a lead weight. They aren't tools for empowerment. They are tools for containment. They are digital pacifiers designed to last just long enough for a school board to sign a renewal contract. But the Mac Neo has just shattered that monopoly. With an education-friendly price of $499, Apple has brought premium, aluminum build longevity to a market that was told to settle for plastic. Why would a parent or a school district continue to buy a disposable Chromebook when they can invest in a machine that will actually last, run industry-standard software, and survive the daily grind of a student's backpack? Apple is playing a multi-generational chess game here. By getting a student onto a Mac in middle school, they are building a lifelong customer. When that student grows up, they won't want the clunky, ad-filled, frustrating Windows interface. They will want the seamless, intuitive, and professional ecosystem they already know. This is the halo effect in full force. Once they have that Mac Neo, they'll want the iPhone, the Apple Watch, and the AirPods. If you like the video, subscribe, share the video, and hit the bell icon.